fellow marketers, Professor Wolters here, and today we're going to talk about one of the most important topics in marketing, and that is your value proposition. What makes your product or your service so dang special? Because you need to make sure you can articulate that in order to let your potential clients know why you're so special, why they should buy from you, why you're the perfect fit for them. And so this video is going to go over how you develop your value propositions, okay? And yes, that is a plural because it's not just one. You're going to see that you might have multiple value propositions you can offer to your potential clients. And the thing is, your value proposition really puts into words the opportunities that your product and service presents to customers or to clients, okay? So you think about it for phones, what are some of the value propositions they put out there? They'll talk about our battery lasts for 3 days. We have a 50 megapixel camera. We have 6G technology in our phone. They're putting some of those capabilities in there to talk about that. How would those things address certain people's needs? Well, oh, I work and travel a lot, so battery time is going to be more. Oh, I make these YouTube videos, so having the camera that works and is so much nicer might help me there. We start seeing these things right there, and so you want to put out those opportunities, right? You want to put out those capabilities of our products and what they can do and what they can offer. And another thing you can look at is what is the impact that your product is going to have on that customer. You know, like if you ever watch the late night infomercials, they always have the exercise programs, right? Do the workout DVDs, do the pump flex or whatever. But what they show you, what do they show you? They show you the before and the after. They're showing you the impact. That is a value proposition. We can help you lose 30 pounds. We can help you feel like you're 18 again. They're letting you know what the impact that their product can have on you. And that is a value proposition. And the thing is whenever you're given these value propositions, it's important to have proof of that proposed impact. That's why those, old P90X videos from 20 years ago were so good, because they show the before and the after and people do it. It's like, look, you don't have to listen to me. Look at the results, okay? Look at Bob the farmer. Look at Sarah the single housewife, whatever. You have these kind of things out there and they're showing that. You're like, hey, I get it. I'm starting to see that. And that's why it's important when you're thinking about kind of general things that can help out, you might want to think about the cost savings that are out there by your product, right? Or maybe the value that your product can add to people, how it can make people's lives easier, what it's better for. And that's really important that you know how to do it. But the thing is however you put your value proposition out there, you really need to make it in a way that people can understand. Because if I tell you, oh, well, you can use 70% less electricity in our light bulbs. Well, do you know how much money one light bulb costs? Like, here, I'm turning this on. How much money am I saving if I turn this off? So I save 70% of whatever that was. I'm not really sure what that means. Like, okay, my electrical bill will be down 70%. I can understand that. But one light bulb, I'm not really sure. So what might be better is, hey, you know what? This light bulb, our new light bulbs, they'll last for 7 years. Whereas our old light bulbs, they only last apparently 2 years, right? And so we see that. So put it in terms that your customers can really understand. And the thing is when you're developing these value propositions, make sure you decide on which market you're going to focus on with that value proposition. And you might see this in advertising for kids movies. They'll have the ads that really appeal to the little kids, right? They're like, oh, it's got action and laughs and toilet humor and stuff like that. But then they'll have the value proposition for the parents, right? They'll have, oh, it has the funny adult jokes and stuff like that. That's where the whole Shrek thing's kind of worked out for people. Because yeah, kids had their stuff and we had things for adult as well. So everybody could be happy. So it's the #1 movie in America 20 years ago, right? And so you think about those things. But it's really important to kind of differentiate the different market segments that are out there and develop value propositions for each one, because we might need to do that. Because you might see that, look, we have to have a different value proposition for the different influencers in the purchase, right? Because think about it, for colleges, they have the value proposition for the students, right? And what is that? Oh, we've got good dorms, we've got good food, we've got fun classes, you're going to make a lot of friends, you're going to have a good time when you're here. That's what they want. Those are the value propositions that are going to work for the students. But what about the parents that are paying for the school? Oh, hey, your kid's going to get a good education. They're going to be safe when they're here. They're going to get a job when they're out of school, right? And so for that, the parents are like, oh, did you say job? Do you mean they might move out of my house so I can turn their bedroom into my workshop? And you can see the daydreams popping up all around, right? And so the thing is, you have to realize is each different market will have a different value proposition or propositions that really appeals to them. That means it is super important that you research your different markets. What's really important to them? Determine what that is and make sure you're developing value propositions that link up to that. And so when you do this research, really figure out what it is that's going to kind of click for each one of these segments or those value propositions, so you can develop those things that's going to resonate with them. Okay, so if it's like in diet food kind of stuff, is that people are looking for lower calories, or are they looking for gluten-free, or are they looking for dairy-free, or are they looking for low fat, are they looking for low sodium? There's different things people might look for, right? And so you can look at it and say, wow, there's a different value proposition for a lot of people. Because yeah, you might look at it, oh, no sugar means there's more fat. No fat means more sugar. Oh, what am I supposed to do? You see there's different things people might target. Okay, so do your research to figure out what it is that's really appealing to these people and what's really going to have the most value to them. And that's why when you do that, look at your product or service and kind of see what you're going to be offering. And in terms of what your overall value propositions are overall, is there anything that kind of links up with what these customers are looking for? Because when you start to see that crossover, we know that that's the value proposition we need to be focusing on with that group. So what does that mean? Well, for you, it means you really need to define those benefits. I mean, write out the value propositions. Write out those things so you have them down there. So if someone comes in and you're selling cars, you say, oh, there's a family coming in that needs room for 6 kids. Well, what's the value proposition we need to sell for them? What product links up with what they need? Have those things down. And you'll see that if you go to Best Buy, or if you're in Germany, you go to Saturn or something like that, you'll actually see when they sell their computers, there's a little piece of paper next to the computer that talks about, oh, here's the RAM, the ROM, here's the capacity, here's the Intel chip inside, how fast it is, here's the memory it has, here's the weight of it. They put all those there because they know, hey, for some people, those things are really important. So if we can list those things out, we need to list them out. Because you never know. Sometimes you don't know it. Like, I don't know which value proposition is going to work best for them. That's why you lay it out. That's why on your website and stuff like that, you really want to stipulate, hey, these are our value propositions. This is what our product brings to you. This is what our service can offer to you. Here's how we can help you. Here can we solve your problems. How we can help you grow. We're putting those things out there, and by listing all those things, it makes it a lot easier to kind of let people know. And the thing is when you're doing all these value propositions, you also need to look at the alternatives that are out there. I mean, what is your competition doing? What is their value proposition? Because if all of a sudden you're offering the same value as them, you're just kind of doubling up on them. Does that help so much? Because you think about it, in fast food, there's different value propositions that stores or restaurants are giving, right? McDonald's, it's the fast standardization. That's the big value proposition for them, right? Burger King, your way, right away. Culver's, hey, it's the Wisconsin family fun cheesiness, right? They all have a little bit something different. Because if we put out a value proposition that, hey, we're the fast standardized food, well, I've already got McDonald's for that. Oh, well, we're that farmer's aw shucks cheesiness. Oh, Culver's has that. You really need to figure out is what's our value proposition, how are we going to make it a little bit different, or at least find our niche out there when we are developing our value propositions. Now, some of the things will cross over. Look, our food is tasty, like Culver's, you can look at that. But you have to think about it in terms of what are the alternatives out there that are being offered to our potential clients. And we need to help them realize that we're offering more value than our competitors. And that's why it is really important that you give your audience that proof of your value proposition. That's why when they show that cheese pizza coming out and they pull the cheese, you want to see the cheesy gooiness going out, like, oh, doesn't that look good? Or they show the people happily eating that bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. My morning is so much better. They're doing it in their ads to really show you the value, right? They're giving you that example. That's why people really like reviews and ratings, because like, look, that's someone that actually got some value out of that hotel. That's someone that enjoyed their stay at that, eating at that restaurant or staying at that hotel. That's why they have those things, to help reinforce what those value propositions are. Okay, so I hope this helps you understand what value propositions are, because honestly, these are one of the key things you need to know in marketing and sales to get people to understand why your product and service is perfect for them. So wish you all the best and have a great day.